What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I got a few questions about what we're using offshore, so I decided why not start this channel off with a tutorial of what I'm using. So I've been fishing for a few years now. I came from a Vibe Shearwater. Actually, I came from an old school Predator before Old Town had the company. And then I upgraded to a Vibe Shearwater when they first came out because I was in freshwater, mostly bass fishing areas. And then I got here and realized that the Shearwater was not suitable for offshore, so I upgraded to an Old Town. Now, my decision may have been swayed by some friends of mine who are very particular about what brand of kayak I get, so that played into the leading of the Old Town kayak. And then as well, offshore is a different ball game. You want stability, you want something that's comfortable, and you want something that's quick. I was pretty new to the pedal drive system, so I went with the advice of some friends of mine, and it's worked out really well. So let's get started. To start off with, I have a Old Town Predator PDL pedal drive. This is the 2018 model, so it does have the older round hatch in it. If you know anything about Old Towns, they have a newer model that has a rectangular hatch, and it is far superior. So if Old Town wants to send me one, that'd be great. But it works great for offshore. If you want to go offshore here in the Gulf of America, specifically up here in the Panhandle, you want stability. We do get some really beautiful flat days out there, but there are definitely days where you're in 2 to 3 foot chop, some deep swells, and so you want something, you're fighting a heavy fish over the edge, you want something that you're comfortable in. Highly recommend to sit on top. I do not recommend sit-in kayaks for fishing, just because if you fill up with water, it's a nightmare. So we'll talk safety real quick. I run an Old Town life vest. Funny enough, I got this life vest before I was into Old Town kayaks, and this thing has been phenomenal. It's got plenty of storage on the front, and then it holds everything that you need for offshore. Here in the state of Florida, you need a VHF radio, some kind of signaling device, and then you also need some kind of fish release tool, whether that be a descending device or a vent tool. I carry a small vent tool, and then I also carry my Return 'em Right release kit, and that thing has been absolutely phenomenal. They send it to you for free. You go sign up with them, they send it to you for free, and it's been a lifesaver, game changer, because you get those fish down to the bottom faster. You're getting them past the sharks, past the dolphins, and you're giving them the most chance of survival that they have from your boat. I carry a knife for any kind of entanglement or entrapment or just quick access. Carry whistles, and then I carry a visual flare as well. I carry an electronic one, but you can carry other ones as well. So on this kayak, just everything that's mounted, I have my Insta360. I film most everything with an Insta360 X4, so I have the mount for that up here. This forward-facing rod tube holder, its only job is to secure my rod while I tie FG knots or put new bait on. I don't use it for anything else. I actually don't even ever undo the latch. I just slide my rod right down there and lean it against it. That is the only purpose of this. I do not like forward-facing rod tube holders. I feel like they're just up and out of the way when you're offshore. I'm fishing mostly to the side here. Obviously the pedal drive system. I carry 2 pairs of fish grips. I've had those ones fail on me a couple times, so I usually have a backup. Off to the side, you obviously need a paddle if you're trying to get through rough water in the surf, or if you are fishing inshore. We do a lot of redfish fishing or speckled trout fishing, and we'll fish really shallow water. The draft on this boat is pretty significant for a kayak, so anything under a foot and a half, usually I'm pulling my drive up and I'm paddling around. Over here I have a custom made spear gaff that a buddy of mine made for me, and then I coated with an epoxy. And then right here on this side and on this side is a trolling rod tube. So when I'm trolling, these are what I put my trolling rod tubes in, and that's just for easy access that I can just reach right here. I can watch my rod a lot easier without having to turn my neck and my head around. They're deeper, so they give you more secure stability. I still leash my rods. I have my trolling leashes. What's on that? I have my trolling leashes right here. So I still leash them. And then it's better than the factory mounts on these older models, because the factory mounts are way back here with these. And then this contraption, this is my live well. So this works really well. I have my pump and my hose going down through my skipper hole over here, and then my battery pack sits right in front of it. I also have these rod tubes on the back, so that way I have more storage, because the more you fish, eventually you're going to get more rods. A net is crucial offshore. You're going to want a good net, something that's going to be big enough for those larger fish. I am testing out this Cast King this year, and so far it's been phenomenal. It's compactable, it fits everywhere I need it to fit, and I highly recommend a silicone or a rubber netting. One, it's easier to get hooks out of, and then two, it stretches a little more and you don't get tangled as much. And we'll go around to this side. My electronics. Real quick, we'll talk back to safety. So a must-have is a VHF radio. This is a personal opinion, a professional opinion. This is a 100% must-have. I run the ICOM ICM M25. It is really well. I use what's the name of that company? Either way, I use another brand that I was having issue with. I like the radios, but I was having issues with charging. These ICOMs, they charge USB-C, and they're relatively the same price as the other brand that I was using, and they work really, really well. I can charge it in the truck on the way, just in case, if the battery ever starts getting low, or if I forget to charge it overnight. And then to power my fish finder, I'm using the Nocqua 200 milliamp fish finder, LiPo battery. This thing is absolutely phenomenal. It's sealed, waterproof. I've run it. This is the first year I've ran it, and it hasn't even come close to dying. Every time I go to charge it after a trip, and I'm talking 8 hours, I go to charge it after a trip, and I'm only at like 75%. So I'm excited about that this year. This is what I was running, Dakota Lithium power box. It's a little bit bigger. It's more of a cumbersome piece to put in. This is now what powers my live well, but it has a 120 amp lithium battery in there as well. Yeah, it's got lights and cigarette lighters and things. That worked really well. I've never ran that out of a battery, and I've fished very long days with it. But now it powers my live well, and this is powering my fish finder, which onto my fish finder, I'm using a Garmin EcoMap 74 SV. And then that is new as well. I was running a Lowrance, what was the name of it? Lowrance Hook 7, which I enjoyed it. I enjoyed their app. Then they changed some things with their app, and I started to not enjoy it as much, and then I had issues with it. I 100% believe it was wiring, so I'm not 100% negating Lowrance. I enjoyed that fish finder as well, but Garmin's just a little easier. It's a little bit easier to sync up. Also, everybody that I fish with runs Garmin, and so trying to chart and map and work through troubleshoot, it's just smoother. So I have my wires running through 2 through holes right here, and I know I could use a double through hole on just one, but this kit only came with these single ones, and I wasn't trying to order. I was trying to go offshore that week, so I wasn't trying to order new ones. But I have a in-hole or through-hole transducer mount. This is been working phenomenal. These, if you know anything about these old towns, the older styles had a very small, actually I'll just show you, had a very small transducer hole. And they were built very specifically for one type of transducer. And basically anything after that, it does not fit or it sticks below the hole. So I wanted something that was a little bit safer, and then I also wanted to not run my wires a mile long. So I went with the in-hole transducer mount, and so far it's been working really well. I had some issues with side scan when I moved it to underneath my seat. I was worried about the thickness of the front of the kayak, and I moved it to underneath my seat because it's flatter. Well, when I did that, I didn't build up the material around the edges of it, so I was getting a lot of not great imaging off the side scan. So I just did a remedy today. I used HVAC putty and built up the edges. We're going to test it out on Sunday and see if it works. If it doesn't, then I'll take a step back and rethink it. So that's the transducer mount, and then the fish finder. What else we got? So in my hole, like, this is the stuff that I don't use every trip or I don't think about. This is just here for emergencies. In the hole of my kayak, I have a sponge. I should have a bilge pump, like a hand pump. I need to get it, I know. I also have a emergency medical, just a quick medical kit. I have a dry box with spare parts for anything and everything that I need. It's got spare lock nut, spare shear pins. There's a battery bag in here that I am going to move back, and then further down is a bag with a tow rope. It's just it's an old wakeboard rope with a handle, and that's just for in case anybody or myself has a issue on the water, somebody else can get them off the water. Real quick with the pedal drive system, so you'll notice the NKF sticker, that's Navarre Kayak Fishing. They sell these lock nuts, and these removable lock nuts are phenomenal. If you get any kind of braid or anything wrapped up in your drive, you just twist that lock nut off, remove that braid, that drive, make sure you keep control of that shear pin, and then you can quickly access it. I've seen guys out there who have lost the bolt has come off, or the nut has come off, and then they've lost the bolt, and then now they're out of luck, which is why I have the tow rope. So removable lock nut, excellent. I have a spare one up there in the hole. Let's see, moving back. All right, so I've got the Shimano Travala rod. It's a medium heavy, and then I have a Speedmaster 12. That is going to be my primary snapper rig. It is new this year, and it's caught 2 29-inchers and an amberjack. It's been really well. Goofish micro jigging rod with a Shimano Saragossa 6000 for jigging, and then a Penn spin fisher for basically free lining, anything that like if I want to throw a lure, I throw my cobia jigs or my tarpon jigs with that. My pitching rod, or sorry, this is my bait rod. This is just a Penn Battle on a back bay bull rod. Works really well. And then a Travala boat rod with a Daiwa BG 5000. And that's my trolling rod that I use. I use 50 pound braid on this, 30 pound braid, 30 pound braid, 30 pound braid, and then on my trolling rod I have 80, and that's just in case I catch a big king. It works really well. So one of the crucial things that I want to talk about is these leashes. Leashes for rods are it's crucial. Like it's mandatory to me. Last year I had an incident where I did have some rods leashed, but I didn't have all my rods leashed, and we were in some pretty rough water. Caught a gag grouper, was trying to get a picture with it, and then a rogue wave. I was turned sideways, a rogue wave caught me and dumped me. Just an unfortunate these frogs. Just an unfortunate event. I ended up losing $700 worth of rods and reels and tackle. Still kept the fish, but from that moment on, I had a leash for every single rod. I honestly have a leash for almost everything on my kayak, to include my catch board, my pliers, everything that I use that could possibly fall out that I would want to save to continue fishing is leashed. If the rod's not in my hand, it has a leash on it, even while I'm sitting out on the reefs, because you never know what could happen. Real quick to point out, my Garmin is mounted on a ram ball mount, and that's so I can swivel it around and move it and change the direction. A lot of times the issues with sun and stuff like that. And then it's mounted to a Navarre Kayak Fishing handhold replacement for these old towns. He does a lot of customization for the old towns, and I have quite a few of his things mounted because it just makes sense. It's taking a product that was already great and then he just improves it. So, but if you have any questions, or if you want to see any more videos on anything else on this kayak, or what I use specifically when we're dropping, how I build my rigs, or how I make my leaders and things like that, go ahead and like in the comments, or sorry, go ahead, comment, and then I'll make a video later on specific things and go from there. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully we can get out this week and get some more fishing videos, and no more sharks. So have a good one. Bye.